Hello, everyone. My name is Stéphane Noël, and I'm very happy to meet you here. I am a producer and curator of performing arts from Switzerland, now living and working in Hong Kong. The Asia Europe Foundation invited me to share a bit of my festival experience with you, and I would like to thank them for this very generous opportunity. I have been active in this field since 1997, both as a festival director and on the side of the artists, handling the production, matching them with partners, and in general, helping them to show their work to audiences here and there. But I am also an avid festival goer, and today I would like to tell you a little bit more about the role played by festivals and their importance for societies way beyond the art communities. When I think about festivals, the first image that comes to my mind is that of a bubble. A festival is a bubble in time and space. It is a moment we share in a particular place, and sharing this temporary island creates a community of sorts. This community is connected to the artistic program, of course, but it is also anchored in the city or region where the festival takes place. And this connection between a festival's program and its audience encourages the circulation of ideas, the asking of questions, big and small, and the conversations over values. Whether they are broadly international or they present more local works, festivals create dialogues between different cultures, communities, and across diverse identities. The atmosphere is often festive. You can feel the happiness in the air and curiosity is floating around. These conditions often diffuse tensions and conflicts. They depolarize the conversation, instead promoting an open and understanding attitude. And then, after a couple of days, or in certain cases, a couple of weeks, the bubble pops and releases its audience to their lives. As the public eagerly awaits the next edition, the images, the ideas, the memories, the question that the festival communicated, they continue to live in the minds of the audience and to generate new synaptic connections. Sometimes festivals are curated according to a theme or topic, and this topic is explored in different ways and different forms by artists of multiple origins. Some other times, the program of festivals is built like a rhizome, instinctively adding projects together to become its own object. But always they generate a discourse that actively presents a diversity of human beings, of preoccupations, and of aesthetics, and as such, they play a key role for the collectivity that supports them. They open a window onto the world. The function of arts as a symbolic interpretation or rearrangement of the world becomes even more relevant when projects collide within this bubble. The main mission of the team organizing a festival, however, is not to simply choose nice and exciting things and try to fit them into a calendar, but it is to connect the different shareholders that are the artists, the audience, the communities, and the institutions by creating a context in which to show the foreign, the different, the new. This context, in turn, allows to remove the exoticism that could be perceived if these proposals were isolated or disconnected from the community that is currently apprehending them. Here, I am not simply referring to a geographic exoticism that could occur when we bring our gaze to art and to artists from other parts of the world, but also to forms of exoticisms encountered when we are confronted to the visions of people who are different in gender, in social background, in sexual orientation, in religion or tradition, etc. In that sense, festivals manage to both present a richer and more granular view of the world and to do so in a very supportive environment, eventually helping us, the audience, to embrace an empathetic perspective without rejecting this newness we do not always understand when we are immediately confronted to it. This parallel deployment of curiosity and compassion, of questioning and entertaining, of local and international, well, they all make us better citizens and better human beings. By showing this diversity, festivals bring people together in an affirmative and responsible way. Of course, it's not easy to create and sustain a festival because it requires a skilled team and a lot of work. It costs money to put them together. And although it seems everybody enjoys attending them, sometimes it feels no one really wants to pay for them. Well, I have to admit that in richer countries, there is some public funding. This reflects on the society's need to be enlightened and challenged by artistic programs. And there, of course, audience has more disposable income to buy tickets and hang around in the foyer to discuss the performances until late. But even there, the rise of populism threatens free artistic expression and the very existence of festivals. Indeed, populism functions through the division of the population by manipulating their frustrations and, in a way, pitting them against each other. A festival, as a place of complex exchange and open discovery, works against this politics of simplified vilification. In less privileged countries, festivals are even harder to put together. They can only happen when citizens and communities support them directly, financially, and in kind to replace the lack of support their local governments fail to provide. Globally, economical inequality has never been so violent. It happens within single nations, but it's even worse when comparing the so-called industrialized nations to the rest of the world. This not only affects the means to produce an artistic expression, but also impacts the circulation of people who, outside the global north, are particularly challenged when trying to get across borders, not to mention if they want to do so to earn some money. Another emerging challenge is that of our dying environment. To mitigate the danger looming over the planet, festivals need to pay attention to ecological sustainability and act accordingly. Rather than to stop inviting artists from far away, they need to coordinate with other festivals and presenting institutions to mutualize their efforts. By building tours for visiting artists, for instance, they can share both the financial costs and the ecological impact their invitations carry. Of course, festivals have to maintain their own identities, which they have patiently built with their local audiences and communities. It would make no sense to reproduce the same festival in different cities or even countries, but there is always room for some common programs. It is a fine balance, but it is crucial it is found. Festivals, by opening geographical and mental borders, play a vital role in our societies. By showing us the otherness, they help us to understand who we are in our fullest diversity and remind us that we too have a role to play in designing a more equal future. I hope I have convinced you to research when and where the next bubble will pop near you. Buy a ticket or two, bring a friend along, and enjoy the adventure. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you to the Asia Europe Foundation for this very kind invitation.